moment for me was looking back when my son won his first major event. It was an FLW event. I was like an expectant father. But let me prelude it a little bit. When Chase was in his teens, he traveled with me all the time in the summer. And I fished a number of walleye tours at that time, did some shooting for Bass Pro Shops for their Outdoor World television show. So literally from April until November, I was on the road almost full time. And during those summer months when he was out of school, he would travel with me. And you know, it was kind of one of these deals where I never really thought he was in love with fishing as much as he was in love with golf, because we would stop at literally every good golf course in the Midwest, going from tournament to tournament. So that bond from father to son, even through the teen years, where a lot of parents kind of lose their kids because they're off going their own direction and stuff, our bond became tighter. And later on, when he said he wanted to fish professionally, you know, it was a kind of a bittersweet thing for me. I wanted him to do it. I know how tough it is to succeed in the industry, but I left a dental practice to do it. So in America, you don't fight what someone desires, and so, you know, he basically took night classes for marketing and sales, and he did all the things that it took to become a professional angler. And so that brings us right back to where I started, the defining moment. It was a tournament out in Lake Oahe in South Dakota, and this is a gigantic reservoir. It gets extremely rough. And, you know, Chase figured out a pattern trolling bass spinner baits, which was way oddball in the world of walleyes. And he was trolling them down over 30-foot trees and ticking the treetops, and he's catching giant fish. And going into the third day, he was leading the tournament. And actually, my brother-in-law, Keith Cavias, was second. I mean, these two guys were scorching the field. And you know, there were slot tournaments there, and what that means is you had to catch certain size fish under a length, and then you could catch a couple fish over a certain length. So their big fish were giants. I caught a lot of fish, a lot of big ones. I couldn't get any of the little ones, so I never made the cut. So here I am, going into the last day of the tournament. The wind is roaring. We're looking at 7, 8, 9-foot waves out on the big lake. These guys take off, and I'm standing on shore. And I'm telling you, it's just like when they had their first child, when Chase's family had their first child. I'm pacing the floor, I'm going back and forth. I go back to the place where we're staying, I go over to the boat launch, I'm looking, hoping that, you know, things are okay, that nobody flipped the boat or those, the conditions were that wild. And in the walleye tournaments, if you get a really big bag in a state where you can't upgrade, once you get the fish that you put in your live well, you're done. And so I'm standing there at about, I don't know, 1 o'clock or noon, and I'm just looking out into the open water, and all of a sudden I see splashes, and you can see this boat coming in, and I'm going, oh, someone's coming in, they've got their fish. And here it was Chase, and he had just an unbelievable bag of fish. And so he literally won the tournament by 10 pounds, and it was the happiest moment of my career. You know, if you look at 35 years of tournament angling, I've got a lot of things that I did through the years, but honestly, the one moment that I will remember until the day that I'm not on this earth was when he won that tournament, and he did it in the toughest conditions, and he just absolutely smoked the field. So it was one proud papa day, for sure.